Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 9 o'clock p.m. on the Eastern Standard Time, and it's your boys, Mike and Mish. Here we are. We're back from Tampa. It was an unbelievable weekend. What's up, Mike?
Man, I am loving life right now. I got to say, I've been happy, smile from ear to ear since this weekend.
Happy smile from ear to ear. Yo,
That is correct.
lots of things happened this weekend. We can talk for hours about this, but first of all, guys, did you look over there or no, over there above Mike's head? Look over that way above Mike's head in the corner there. We got a Mike and Mish Show logo to go along.
That's right.
To go along with the Mission Accomplished brand. That's what I'm fucking talking about, man. We keep changing things, and I love it. We're growing. We're advancing. We got new colors. We came back. We made it out alive. We made it out of Tampa alive, which is always special. Mike, we got 4 guests lined up for the evening tonight.
Yes, we do.
We are going to talk to 4 guys that were all victorious this weekend in Tampa, and we're going to start off the show with we're going to start. Yep, that's 8.
4 and 4.
No, that's 8. Oh. We're only going to have 4 guests tonight, but we're going to start off the show in a few minutes with the redneck himself, Dave Mundell, who was victorious over David Simpson with a folding chair knockout in the 5th round of their fight. Then we're going to follow him up. How come the video is so blurry? She says.
Maybe it's
your
on
wife.
Your end, possibly, because mine is like crystal clear.
Yeah, mine looks crystal clear on my screen too there, Joe Ivy. So I hate to tell you, but you might have to check your connection. Yeah, we're going to follow up Dave Mundell with
mine's good on my phone too.
Yeah. Who do we got second? We got Brandon Allen, who took a 3-week notice fight against Steve-O Morris, who Steve-O was gunning for that top spot in the 145-pound division. He was a win away from title talks there. Brandon Allen, Superman out of freaking Shift MMA, jumped in there, took the win in a very impressive performance. Then we're going to follow him with J.R. Ridge, who if I had to say, maybe Henry Williams, but I was going to say the most flawless victory on the card of the evening, I would say, would be J.R. Ridge. He just dominated every aspect of the game against Justin Martinez, came out victorious there. And then we'll finish out the show with the CT boy himself where is he? Out of Clearwater, Florida now or something like that. Our boy Ryan Rieber will be on. He was victorious over Slick Rick Caruso too. But man, there was some controversy. There was some non-controversy. There was some controversy that people were trying to drum up on the internet because they're student odds. First of all, before we get into this shit, dude. What did you think about the fact that Reggie Barnett dominated that fight so decisively before the unfortunate end? Reggie Barnett been around forever. Like, what did you think of that performance? Were you surprised, Mike?
I was not surprised that he won because we all know that Reggie Barnett is an OG. He's been in this for a while. So it was really anyone's game. We had an undefeated Kid Gotti going up against somebody who's been around since BKFC 1. And this was Reggie's 3rd shot at the title. And he wasn't going to take no for an answer. He was going to go in there and do what he did. And he's been working on his game. And he's only lost to one person twice. And that's Johnny Bedford, who is the current champ, but we're not sure where that stands. But anyways, man, he really, he looked really, really good. I don't know what was up with Jared. He didn't seem to look himself, but he said that he was in there. No excuses. He lost. So, hats off to Reggie. He really went in there and did his thing for sure.
Dude,
like really fucking kicked ass.
Reggie, we've talked about Reggie and how, certain guys in BKFC have really pioneered the sport and really made it its own thing. And like, he had it on full display there with the overhand clinches when he was grabbing Jared like across the face and then pulling his head down and then uppercutting him like this. Some people would think that's illegal. There's nothing illegal about that. Reggie knows the game. He knows the sport, and he's as good as he's ever been. And he had it on full display. And unfortunately, in the 5th round of the fight, he threw a straight left. And in a sport like this, people can say it was a punch all you want, and I'm gonna go ahead and agree and disagree with what a lot of people we were talking to that night. They were like, it wasn't a poke, it wasn't a poke, it was a punch. Yes, it was a punch thrown.
Right.
I will give you that. It was a punch thrown. But when Reggie's fist came out, his thumb was on the side like this, right?
Right.
And
It's just a clenched fist. I
right,
mean, it's just
right.
the way that it hit his face.
And when
It's
Jared
still a
turned,
fist that hit his face,
right,
but the thumb hit his eye.
I've watched it 500 times now, and like
Right.
when Jared he goes to defend it, he turns his head slightly, just enough for that thumb to graze his eyeball or scrape his eyeball on the way by. So yes,
it's an unfortunate.
It was an unfortunate
turn of the head, and like he kind of moved out of the way at the right second, or the wrong second rather, and it's a legal hit. It's not like he had his fingers out and he was trying to poke him like straight on. It just was
absolutely
it was a close fist punch.
It's an ungloved sport, right, where things like this are going to happen, and it does not take away from the fact that Reggie Barnett was winning every minute of that fight, of the first 4 rounds, all the way up until that punch. Reggie won that title, earned it fair and square. It was pretty much a landslide, and we love Jared and those guys over at Slaughterhouse, but they'll agree with us. It was pretty much a landslide fight at that point, and it was just an unfortunate event, man. When he threw that punch,
that was scary. Actually,
it was scary, and being there in the arena and the way they immediately took. Yeah, they immediately took Jared out of the ring and ran him to the back. We were all there,
like,
and you should have heard how quiet it was in that arena. It was very weird because it was not, like, everybody was like, "What the fuck is going on here? He's not going to come back out, so why don't they announce something? What's going on?"
Yeah,
and then they did the right thing. They went to the scorecards. Reggie was up 4-0 on all 3 judges' cards, and we got ourselves a new interim bantamweight champion. And before we bring our first guest on to talk about his victory, I just want to let everybody know, tune in tomorrow night, because we are having the reigning bantamweight champion, Johnny Bedford, on tomorrow night at 9:30. And Johnny is going to talk to us about what he thought about Reggie and Jared's performances the other night. And he's going to clear the air on what's going on with him and his belt, Reggie in the interim belt, and like what's up for the future for that division. So we'll bring that to you guys tomorrow night. With that said, we got our first guest of the evening. He was victorious in a 5-round battle, which ended in a vicious knockout in the 5th round. Our guy, Dave Redneck Mundell. What's up, brother?
What's going on, guys?
Yo.
Looking good, man.
I know that thing is. I feel like it healed way quicker than you would ever think. It looks way better than it did the other night. It's so crazy.
I tend to heal up fast. I feel like they look bad the night of and the day after, and then they start to fade away pretty fast. So they're nothing too serious.
Yeah, man. So you went out there and you did your thing as usual. It was kind of like another day at the office for Dave Mundell, man. You were out there. Anything that surprised you about David Simpson? I can tell you from my point of view, he wasn't doing too much. You were the one controlling the fight. You were working the body, going downstairs, upstairs, opening up his head with the body shots. Was that the game plan going in there? Is that what was up?
Yeah, I was definitely trying to open him up. He was, I guess what surprised me most about him is it was hard to find him, try to get him to engage and exchange with me. He did a good job of staying on the outside, but, at the end, ultimately I was able to get in there.
Yeah, I didn't even check. Maybe they showed it on the broadcast or whatnot, but I didn't see what the strike count was. But I feel like you must have outstruck him by a fucking boatload, because after rewatching the fight, it didn't seem like he even attempted that many strikes on you. Like, it was, you were busy, you were moving forward and doing your thing basically most of the fight, but it seemed like you were trying to like get him to engage with you. And is that kind of what it seemed like when you were in there?
Yeah, for sure. It was like I said, it was hard. He stayed on the outside. He didn't really want to engage, and then when we did get close, he tied me up right away. So he did a good job at frustrating me, which allowed him to get a lot of these shots in, like the one that cut my eye. Um, but I feel like my experience, played a big toll in that fight at the end of it, and allowed me to open him up.
Absolutely, and the knockout was awesome. Of course, he fell weird. In the words of the movie The Departed, he fell weird. Um, you hit him. He kind of buckled at his knees, folded like a chair, and he fell flat on his back. You got the win by a knockout. Impressive victory for you, and you closed out the night for Shift MMA. You guys were 3-0 on the evening. Pretty big night
I
for your gym, right?
I wish I was the one who closed it out,
Oh
but
no,
my
Jared
boy
was after
Jared
you.
Jared,
did.
that's right.
Yeah, he was co-main event.
I forgot
You
Jared
know,
was after you. God damn it,
and
my
he
bad.
had a hell of a fight too, man. He went out there and put on a show, and definitely showed that skill set.
And you guys got matching eyes afterwards. I mean, you guys had like the exact
We're
same
twinning.
injury, and you guys, it was like the exact, it was just swollen enough. I mean, it was like perfect.
Yeah, we both left looking like possibly lost the fight, but definitely both were victorious.
Isn't that funny? That's where like the people they're like, oh, look at the damage, man. Fuck the damage. I'm gonna tell you right now, you got to watch the fight, people. You got to watch the fight, watch it with your own eyes,
Yeah.
and analyze the fight. Without paying attention to stat count or fucking damage because usually those don't tell the story.
Some people cut easier, and then also I feel like the more times you go in there, the more scar tissue you have built up. I feel like the one above my eyebrow was an old cut that just keeps opening. The one under the eye is new, but it tends to happen. Yeah. You had to
Hey,
get a little shot in there.
if Nate Diaz was to fight, a lot of people have been talking about this lately. Like he's gonna leave, he's gonna fight. Like when I think about it, I'm like, yeah, it would be cool, but I feel like his face would be a bloody mess in like a round.
Yeah,
Like he would just
yeah,
be destroyed.
but he wouldn't give a shit. He'd still
No,
be
he
coming
would not.
forward.
He would
That'd
not.
be a fun fight.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah,
Be a
man.
war for sure.
Absolutely. Now the next question for you is this puts you at 5-1. You're at the top of your division, but we talked to you down there in Tampa, and you had an amazing like vision that involved Mike Richmond and Lorenzo Hunt and Francisco Ricky and like all these different things. And like, so is the move now, is the move to see what happens with Lorenzo and Mike if that fight is made and you want the winner of that?
I do believe so, and I have faith that Ricky will hold the belt for a little bit. So I'm gonna let him have the 175 because I have no interest in fighting a teammate or not a teammate but a friend. So I'm gonna stick around the 185 pound division for a little bit, and I know Richmond was kind of who I had my eyes on even at the 75 pound class, and it's just funny that he moved up. So I'll just chase him around. I feel like he'd be the funnest fight out of everybody. He'd be the one to test me the most.
Jesus. I feel like guys like yourself and Lorenzo and even like Isaac Doolittle, you guys would all be a fun fight with Mike Richmond because
I
he needs to be
I
tested for real.
Yeah, well, I feel like Isaac Doolittle should be next for me. Like, this could be an official call out. Like, I want him next if they're not going to give me an immediate title shot, which I don't think they will. And because Isaac Doolittle had he fought the title eliminator. He was supposed to fight for the belt next. I don't know what's going on with that. Now they're pumping up this Richmond Hunt fight, so I'm pretty sure they'll make that happen first, and then I'll slide in there and fight the winner. But in the meantime, I'd still like to stay busy. So Isaac, let's toe the line.
Man, an Isaac Doolittle, Dave Mundell co-main event on the same card as Mike Richmond and Lorenzo Hunt sounds like a fucking card right there.
Oh
That
yeah.
that would be amazing.
That would be amazing, man.
They could bring it to Tampa. We'll sell that place out for sure.
Yeah, well, you know what? Me and Mike got to go to Shift MMA and visit with some of your coaches.
I was so upset. I didn't know anything about this. Nobody told me. I was in the hotel room just hanging out. Like I could have been over there in a heartbeat and had something to do.
Oh man, we missed you. Yeah, we went over there. It was kind of like a few weeks before we said, hey, we're gonna be going. We want to set something up, but time got closer, and we thought we were gonna go to the press conference for London,
Yeah.
So we weren't sure if we were going to make it, that night. And then that got canceled. And then we were like, all right, well, we'll just go. So we showed, we called them, said, we're going to come over there now.
I seen your guys' little interview with my boy Brandon, who's gonna be on next, and he introducing everybody, and he can't even remember to say my name. I was so mad.
He's a funny dude, man.
Yeah.
We had never talked to him before that, and I threw a video of him. He said, "This is how I'm going to walk down to the ring," and he danced like across the thing. So then I added some Michael Jackson music to it and threw it on Instagram, and he got like 17,000 views in like an hour and a half.
Yeah, it was
He's
crazy.
a character. That's my boy.
Yeah, he's funny, man. What'd you think about his fight? He's going to be coming on in a minute. Were you surprised at all that he handled Steve-O like that, or?
Honestly, no. I knew. Bottom line that training with both of them and training with Brandon, I knew he was gonna win. I would have put any amount of money on it. But you know, I know it was tough for him, and I guess it was tough for Steve-O because they had trained together in the past. But I don't. Although I don't like fighting friends, I don't really feel like they were really too friendly with each other. They just were training partners. So you don't shouldn't have to get angry to go out there and win a fight. You should be able to stay composed and work. I mean, that's how I have no hard feelings against anybody that I've fought. So I still go out there and do my thing. So
Yeah. Well, we talked to Steve-O after the fight, and he admitted that it was
that's
tough for him to fight somebody that he's
yeah,
friendly with. But then he said, "This is a big learning experience for me. I learned that only me and him know that we're friendly with each other. Everybody watching doesn't. So fuck all
yeah.
that shit. It's time to fight."
That's how it has to be. I mean,
It's a
in that
business.
situation, that or be like myself and say no from the beginning. Just I won't do it.
Yeah. Go to
Yeah.
another division or something
Yep.
because, at some point you'll face each other. It's just inevitable. You have to, unless you move a division. It's just, if you're both good, you're going to meet some point. So,
I've learned my lessons. I won't make any more friends in my weight class, that's for sure, or weight classes that I plan on attending. But
that's
what's
what
done is done, and these are the people I'm going to ride with for now.
That's what Christine Faria told us at what was it? Knucklemania 2. Kyle asked her at the press conference about her friendship with Brent Hart. She was like, never making any more friends in my weight division. Forget that, Like
Yeah.
it just doesn't work.
Unfortunately, there's only a handful of guys that, out there doing what we do. So the pool to pull from is small.
Right. And like you said, you're going to stick around the 185-pound division. You have a teammate that also won on the card. You mentioned him earlier, Jared Warren, 185. He won, I thought, pretty clearly. And so did Mike, and so did a lot of people.
Yeah.
Did you see like any of the rumblings online that thought that Jomi got robbed? Did you see any of that?
I haven't seen anything, but I did hear, and I heard people saying that at the event, and then I seen Jomi in the back, and like we've never really exchanged words, but he seemed pretty pissed off. He said something to me, and I asked him what he said, and he just shook his head yes and walked away. So I could only assume he was talking shit. But
It just
it's
seemed,
just a sore loser. I don't know. Like you go in there and you bring a completely different style, and just because he landed a punch that cut Jared, he thought he won. I mean, that's literally all he did the whole time. He was getting thrown around the ring. So
so
I don't get
so
it.
what I would say to anybody who thinks everyone's allowed to think what they can think, but you got to watch it unbiased. Go put that fucking show, go put that fight on, turn the sound off, and just watch it without sound, right? Watch it. Don't listen to the crowd. Don't do any of that shit. And score it round by round. And you will score 1, 3, and 4 decisively for Jared Warren.
Yeah.
Without question, 1, 3, and 4 were him. 2 and 5 could have gone to Jomi, but they could have also gone to Jared. They were very
I
close
thought
rounds.
5 was pretty clear cut to
This-
Jomi myself. Like I thought he definitely, that was his best round. And 2 was very close. But when we were there, I thought that Jared won 1 through 4. When I rewatched it, I was like, he could have lost 2 actually.
I definitely want to rewatch it. I think at the 5th round is when I got pulled back because when I was getting my eye fixed up. So I didn't get to see that last round, but I remember leaving that fight and go, oh, Jared's got four rounds, and I was there, watching from a distance, and I don't know how to explain it. Like I just felt he was pushing him around more, pushing him back more, landing more significant shots. And just because you touch someone's face, if you don't stop them from coming forward, and that's you don't really win that exchange. You know, like if you can't avoid getting hit or stop him completely from coming forward, then to my eyes, you're losing that exchange. You know, and I felt like Jared definitely won clearly, way more exchanges.
Absolutely. And for everybody that like wants to point out the strike count, and I'm not digging at anybody, dude, that strike count
It's always wrong.
is 90% of the
It's
time
always
wrong.
wrong.
It's such fast pace. Like I something that quick without actually having time to slow it down and recount and really go through it. Like you
Right.
said, it'd be hard to. And I don't know exactly how they count everything. Like I do a lot. Like I flick a jab out there with no intention to hit you. If
Right.
you add that, my strike count's going to be high too. And then if I throw my hand out there, but if I hit you in your arm, I think they count that as a landed punch. And it's just to me, it's like that doesn't count. But I guess then the significant punches is the ones that crack them.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because at the end they have it separated and from jab, they have punches, jabs, significant strikes, and it's like, how did you split all that up and count all that on a first go
They have
around?
to
Like
have
it's impossible on all that
a
happens.
team in the back like
Holy
crunching
shit!
hard because
Yeah.
that's pretty impressive. I wonder what my punch count was, especially like I'd like to know how many punches I threw at the body. I feel like I did my best to work this fight.
I would imagine that the strike count from your fight is significantly in your favor compared to his, because watching it really didn't seem like he threw all that much at you and you stayed busy. I didn't see them put it up on the screen. Maybe I missed it or something, but I would be curious to see what yours was for your fight for sure. So we got your teammate Brandon Allen in the waiting room to come in and talk about his victory. Before we let you go, is that your official call out? You want Isaac Doolittle next?
Yeah, he's the one I feel like makes the most sense. You know, he had that next title shot in line, and if he's not gonna jump on and take it right away, why not stay busy and fight me for it?
There you go, man. Any last words that you have for anybody that was paying attention this weekend, or anybody you want to shout out real quick before we let you go?
I want to say thank you to everyone who came out to the fight. I know Saturday we're having like a little after party with a lot of the other BKFC fighters that are coming out as well at the stockyard. If you guys want to hang out, come on out.
There you go, Mike. You got anything else for the redneck?
No, man. Thanks for coming on. We would have loved to have you on before, but we got you now, so even better.
Next time we'll talk. We'll talk longer. All right.
Sounds good, brother.
All right, buddy. Take it easy.
Yep, take it easy.
Later.
All right, redneck Dave Mondell victorious over David Simpson in the feature bout at BKFC Fight Night Tampa 2. He really just outworked Simpson the whole time. Simpson was significantly bigger, I would say.
He's a big guy.
He was a big guy. And then come fifth round, he hit him with that freaking shot that folded him up and called it a night. Excellent victory for him. Thank you for coming on, Mr. Mundell. We got his teammate in the waiting room right here. He is a superhero, Mike. Did you know that?
Yes. Yeah, I heard something about that.
You heard?
Leaps tall buildings in a single bound, I think. Stuff like that.
Yeah, yes, that's right. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's motherfucking Superman, Brandon Allen. What?
And with a dope shirt on. I love it.
Oh, let's make him bigger. Let's make him bigger. What's going on, man? Can you hear us?
Now he's muted.
Yes, sir.
There we go.
There he is. The victorious Brandon Allen. How does that feel? How does it feel to come off a victorious weekend, going into a new week here? What's up, man?
Good to win, but I'm not happy with it. I want to keep going. I want to keep pushing. Like I told you, I'm not going to be happy till I get the scrap. So
there you go. But you're not happy at all. I mean, you went in there and you won pretty decisively, man. You put on a really good performance. You stuck to a game plan. You didn't fall into any traps with Steve-O. You didn't fall into a brawl. You kind of picked him apart as you wanted to. Everybody was kind of like counting you. I mean, a lot of people were counting you out because Steve-O was, one of the next big things in the 145-pound division. I know you guys are friendly, but you got to be a little happy about this. Come on now.
that's the job. like I'm happy about it, but you know, that's the job. That's what I train for. Like you be happy once you get the goal. The goal is to get the scrap. So that's when you be happy.
Well, that 145-pound division is starting to build up, man. You got yourself in there now. You got, you just fought Steve-O, but you got HD Davis, who just had hand surgery. I'm not sure how soon he'll be ready to get back
About
in.
that, I was wondering about that.
Yeah, I don't, Mike, do you know? We don't know how long he's in a cast or anything like that, right?
I think he mentioned it, but I would be wrong to say if that I remembered because I don't remember.
Yeah, but you also got Jimmy Rivera. You got other guys out there, man. In a 5-round fight with a very tough fighter, you look like you didn't really take any damage. How are your hands? What's up? We couldn't hear you. You cut out for a second.
The hand's real good.
Hands real good. So with that said, after a 5-round fight just this past Saturday, are you looking to get right back in there and get another fight soon?
Can you do us a favor and just take the headphones out? Maybe speakerphone might work a little better. Something's happening with the volume.
Can you hear us?
See if this works. Hey.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear us?
Something's up.
All right, Brandon, we're gonna move you out for a second. All right, so Brandon, if you can hear us, back out of the link, come back into the link, and try to reset your headset, your headphones, because there's like a weird delay. We can't hear you, and then when you took the headphones out, there's an echo. But anyways, Big Ben says his coach is in the comments here. We should ask him who's in the comments. Is Jihad or Rick or any of these guys in here? Because I got to tell you right now, we went down to Shift MMA and we met Brandon Allen for the first time the night before the weigh-ins. And this kid is like great spirits, happy, just having a ball in the gym. Ryan, you're talking about HD Davis. Yeah, I mean, if Ryan Perez wants to drop some knowledge in the comment section about HD's hand, go ahead. We're not going to tell you what to do. Nah, man, maybe he'll be back sooner than later. But
he did mention that he wants his next fight to be Tierney because he wants to make him suffer in the ring.
He could probably take that fight with the cast on, no?
Maybe. Could happen. We might see it.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second here, but let's see if Brandon is good to come back in. Brandon, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Hell yeah, that's way
yes,
better,
sir.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Oh, hey, speaking of your weight class, there was another fight that night afterwards or outside the arena. Did you see this? Did you hear about it?
I seen it. Like, that's crazy.
What are your thoughts
they'd
on
be
this?
acting like that outside. These supposed to be champions, future champions. Why they acting like this?
Well, if you watch the video, it looks like the other guy was baiting him pretty hard. I mean, I understand where you're coming from. You got to act like a champion and not fall into that trap, but
got to get away from them. But that dude it was one of Tierney's friends or cornerman, whatever that threw the sucker punch. Yeah, caught him
that was crazy. That was a crazy sucker punch.
You know, it was just words up until that sucker punch, man. And that fucking, and that's a shout out to HD Davis, man.
Yeah, he ate it though. He ate it.
That shit was loud as hell too. It's like, holy shit.
He ate it. Then he got the takedown. Oh, Steve-O Morris is actually in the comments. What's up, Steve-O? He says respect to you. But he also says that was not Turney's friend. It was just some dude. That was a drunk fan.
Oh man, that's a true fan.
You picked the wrong side, I'll tell you that. Knowing the groups that were out there, I picked the wrong side. That's for sure.
I don't want my fans to be like that, but that's a true fan.
It's a
Yes,
true.
it is.
He's throwing bare knuckles out there. Jesus Christ. You know,
Go to the tryouts. Not
yeah,
really,
but really though, Brandon, if he was a true fan of BKFC, he would have known that side of the railing was not the one the sucker punch. It was the other side.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
you'd be better off punching the other one, buddy.
Yeah, that's what he should have did. But hey, life goes on.
that's right.
So, what we're gonna talk about? What we need to do? Because I'm looking for somebody in the 45 division. I don't know yet. We talking about somebody, and I'm thinking about choosing very soon.
You're talking about choosing very soon. Well, we're going to ask you that is, I would imagine that your coaches were right back on the horn with the bosses because you performed stellar against a guy who was ranked number 4 at the time. Steve-O is no slouch. So other than Steve-O, HD Davis has the hand injury. In the comment section just a minute ago, Ryan Perez says 8 weeks till he's back to work. So
I got an idea.
He's out for 8 weeks. I mean, you got that dude Plaziola.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Plaziola.
Are you familiar with Edgar Plaziola?
Nah.
So he fought Chevy Bridges, Knucklemania 2, maybe.
Yep. On the prelims.
We're getting feedback now.
Yeah, just lift up the phone off the table. If you have it on the table, it might be reverberating into the. Did he freeze? There you go. I don't know.
Yeah, sir.
But yeah, Plaziola fought Chevy Bridges, knocked Chevy Bridges out, came back. I think he was losing, and then he came back and knocked out Chevy Bridges. I don't know if you remember that.
No, I don't remember.
No, he's a stout little guy, man, who can throw some power bombs. And like, I feel like that would be a nice fight for you right there. He's ranked number 3 currently. I see that. I don't know if these rankings are up to date. The records on the fighters in the rankings are up to date because they have the one there for Steve-O. Steve-O's now 2-1.
Yeah.
But I don't know if these rankings are up to date. I don't know if you're cracking into the top 5 now, but I mean, if I was you, Rusty Crowder or Edgar Plaziola are ranked number 2 and 3 right now. And I think you can give both of those guys a run.
Honestly, I got to give it to Jihad. I got to give it to Rick. Whatever they pick, that's what I'm going to run with. But I like me over everybody in the 145 division.
How does it feel to have the best dressed cornerman in the game?
Man,
look at that guy.
He honestly get it from me. Personally, he get it from me.
He gets it from you.
Yeah.
And he was called out by Sean Wheelock during the live broadcast as that. And it's happened more than once. I mean, now he's well known as the best dressed cornerman in the game.
That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear.
Yep.
Man, and this time it was a bloody night, but I think he managed to come out of there with no blood on his suit. Like the last time when we were hanging out with him in Wichita, he got blood on his white pants. And he was kind of butthurt about that.
Yeah, he don't like that. He'll stay away from us if we start getting bloody.
I actually said it to him. I said, "Look at you, man. You look great out there." I said, "You're the best dressed coach. I mean, this is wonderful." And he was like, "What? I'm the best? That's what you're gonna say? I'm the best? I'm not like the best coach at training my fighters." I was like, "Whoa, excuse me, man." Like, you know. But man, he comes dressed to impress. Man, he's trying to get that win, and I don't know. He is just looking fantastic every time he goes out there. What do you think? You got to show him up next time.
Oh, I got to. I will.
You have to.
I got you. Next time you will see.
That's what you should do. Next time you guys show up at the weigh-ins at your next fight, the whole Shift MMA crew come dressed to the fucking nines like he does every time. Talking chains, watches, rings, everything. Bring it all.
I got it. I got a new outfit I want to bring out anyways.
Yeah, man. Well, so you were victorious this weekend. You set the tone for Shift MMA. You guys ended up going 3-0 for the evening. How did you celebrate afterwards?
I went home.
You went home. That was it.
Good sleep.
Got a good
end.
Oh man.
I went home. I had to go home.
I wish I went home.
Well, you know what, man? We appreciate you coming on. We're doing quick interviews tonight, just talking to the winners. Before we let you go, if you want to call out somebody in particular, let the bosses, they're all watching. Everybody knows they watch. Call somebody out by name or just shout some people out. We'll let you go.
How about this? The world. The world.
The world.
I got it right there. I hit it on the head.
The world, Chico. That's right. Yeah, man. Great performance on Saturday night. Congratulations to you and your team. And we're looking forward to seeing your next one, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
All right, brother. Take it easy.
Later.
Superman. You know, a lot of people didn't think that was going to happen with him and Steve-O, man. Steve-O's a G. Steve-O's a G. And you know what? And I will, before we bring on JR Ridge, I will give Steve-O this, man. He took the loss like a true professional. He did an interview with us afterwards. He talked about how it was a learning experience for him. It was, you know, it was a tough situation to be in, to fight somebody that he's friends with. And I think if put back in that situation again for Steve-O, he would flip that switch, turn that shit off, leave it at the front door, and fucking fight like it was his enemy. You guys could be friends afterwards, man. You can have a little drink or smoke something right afterwards and just be friends again while you're bleeding all over the freaking blunt. Anyways, we got our third guest in the waiting room right now. This guy, I will tell you right now, if I had to say flawless victory of the night, it was this guy coming up right here, the Lion, JR Ridge. What's up, brother?
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Dude, it's going good. How's it going for you?
It's going good, man. Just hanging. I was at the gym earlier, but you know, these hands are a little sore right now, but everything else is good.
I got to tell you, man, you stepped in there with Justin Martinez. He's a stout little military veteran, crazy little bastard, head down bulldog. He came at you. You weathered the storm in the first round, which was a lot of clinch work with him. But like, honest to God, it seemed like everything you did technically perfect that fight. Did you feel like you executed your game plan flawlessly that night? Because it was pretty goddamn dominant.
Well, you know, I appreciate that, fellas. You know, I stuck to the exact game plan that I knew that I needed to have with Justin. Justin is, you know, he, hats off to Justin, man. That dude is strong as an ox. Like, in the clinch, whenever I was pinning his arms down, like, I was tired trying to hold his arms down. That dude is strong. But yeah, you know, the game plan was to not get caught in that clinch, because I know Justin is very strong there. And then once I got out of the clinch, I needed to establish my distance and then make sure I counter as much as possible, especially if he's throwing looping hooks like he did. And also, you know, distance was very important for me in the game plan. So for me to be able to control that distance and not let him get in was definitely my key to victory.
Yeah, I feel like as soon as you got comfortable, you just turned it up a notch, and that was it for him. You kind of felt the tide change. You know, it was right. It's once you knocked him down and the round ended and you guys came back out, you were on another level after that. I feel like you were not missing.
Yeah. I felt, you know, every shot that I threw, it was for a purpose. It wasn't just me out there throwing punches. Like, if I saw the opening, I shot it immediately. So, you know, I can't. I'm definitely happy with my performance.
You're 1-2, like the textbook 1-2. You were like 1-2ing him to death. You know what I mean? You were following the jab with the cross, and it was like fucking landing at will. Big Ben has a question for you in the comments here. Got one question. Did any of JR's punches not land? Did you throw a punch that didn't land? Like, it was precision all night for you.
You know, I don't know, man. I have no idea. But you know, the funny thing is whenever I was watching the playback, literally, I was looking at the punch count and the stats, and it had Justin, his percentage was higher than mine at one point. So I was like, man, I don't know. Whoever's counting these punches, maybe they got the names backwards or something. Because I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm throwing a hell of a lot more punches, and a lot of them are landing.
Nah, man, it was a great performance for you. Justin's super tough. This puts you back in the winning column there. We talked to you after the fight. You're looking to crack back into the top 5 now. The flyweight division has some tough customers in the top 4. Top 5. If you look at the rankings right now, there's a 1, 2, 3, and 5. I don't know what happened to 4. I don't know why they don't have a 4, but
yeah, the rankings went weird, man. I don't know. I know that they were talking about how the rankings were going to be up to date, like consistently. I don't know what's up with the rankings. It's like who was it? Joshua Ritchie. He had lost, I think, the event after the one we had in May, so that bumped him out as well. Now there's a 1, 2, 3, and then there's no 4 now.
Yeah, there's a gap. Yeah.
There's no 4. Is there somebody that you have in mind, or is there somebody that you're keeping your eye on? Because there is that John Dotson's making his debut. You had said that you want to take a couple months off, or take a month off, and rest up a little bit, get a little rest before you get back in there. In August 27th, you got John Dotson making his debut against Ryan Benoit. You also have Chancey Wilson out there. Is there a guy that you have your mind set on, or you just kind of like,
both of those guys, Johnny Dotson's obviously a big name. He's definitely, with him coming in, especially in the 125ers, it just boosts up the flyweight division for us. Johnny Dotson, whenever we found out that he was signed, like, I was joking around with my coach. I'm like, yo, that's the fight I want right there. And he was like, well, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. But anyways, it'd be an honor of mine to definitely be in the ring with Johnny Dotson, just because, he's accomplished so much in the fight world. Chancey Wilson, he's a talented dude, and he's coming off a win he beat Justin, and he's definitely a talented guy. I would love to step in the ring with him, but it's really not anybody specific. I think I just want to be back into that top 5 ranking. I just know with the talent that I do have, and the attitude, I can definitely get that 125 belt. Whenever Dave Feldman decides to do the 125 tournament, but nobody specific. But I feel like I definitely want a top 5 guy for sure.
Yeah, let's get that tournament going. I want to see that tournament. I love tournaments.
Yeah, there's some bangers, man. There's some definitely talented guys in this 125.
Yeah, there's people mentioning names in the comments, like Gian Herrera is another one. Even the top guy, Marciano Hernandez, he's only 2-0. Like, nobody has a ton of fights. There's no real good reason to not fight anyone. You know what I mean? Like, you can make a good case to fight anybody in that division, because nobody has a ton of fucking fights. You know what I mean? Like, Abby Velasquez has the most fights, but he only has 1 in that division. You know what I mean? Right. It's like you could pretty much, you came out of this fight unscathed. You can, take a little time and then just let the BKFC know, give me a name. And I'm sure they would love to have you back in there, because you're an exciting fighter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. I want to get in there as soon as possible. I do want to take some time off, but not too long. But I want to be as consistent, as possible.
So moving away from you fighting, you were at the fights, obviously, because you fought, but then afterwards you were with, is it your girlfriend, your fiance, your wife?
It's my girlfriend. Yeah.
Your girlfriend. So you went out and you watched the rest of the fights, right? So you were there for the rest of the night. What fight stood out to you? What was your favorite fight?
The Rhinell fight, man. Ryan O'Reilly. That was the craziest fight that I've seen live.
It was
Like,
wild.
It was insane. Like I couldn't believe. I don't even. What was his opponent's name?
That was Enrique Corson.
Corson.
Yeah, like I could not believe the comeback, and it's amazing. Like it was an amazing performance.
2 days notice, right? Enrique Corson.
Yeah.
Enrique
He's
Corson,
like the second person.
He was like this. Yeah,
second replacement.
Corson took that fight on a couple days notice, and when Ryan dropped him, I want to say he dropped him 3 times, right?
He dropped him immediately. Like as soon as the fight started, he got hit and fell, and I was like,
Dude, here it is. It's done. Yeah.
The one that he dropped him, the third drop looked so devastating when he dropped him, but that fucking dude hit the mat and jumped right back up like fucking Popeye eating spinach, like I'm like, holy shit, he's right back up. And then he drops Rhinell. I was like, what the hell's going on here?
Crazy. In this sport, man, it's so unpredictable. But I just watching that live and hearing the intensity of the crowd, wow. It was an insane fight.
Yeah, it was electric in there for sure.
And they won a bonus. Good for those guys, man. Yeah. They deserved it. Fight of the night bonus. That was that's a fight of the year candidate right now.
Oh yeah.
Even though it went 3 rounds, that's still a 3-round fight. That's a candidate for the fucking fight of the year for sure.
It was so good.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man. So we appreciate you coming back on. Did you go out and celebrate afterwards? How's the last couple of days been? Or right back to work?
Yeah, pretty much right back to work. But the crazy thing is, like, I didn't go anywhere. Like, me and my girl, like, we ended up getting a hotel room at the DoubleTree. It was funny thing is, like, David Feldman was staying there too. It was crazy. But anyways, yeah, we just we didn't.
He didn't want to stay at the hotel with the rest of us nutcases.
Yeah. Where'd you guys stay? Where were you guys at?
The embassy.
The embassy suites.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. He knows if he rolls in the door there and people be talking to him left, he's like, I don't want to go there. I don't blame him.
Yeah, I don't blame him either.
Hey, before we let you go, you had a couple guys that you train with also on the card. Ryan Rieber, who will be coming on in a minute, and Henry Williams. What'd you think about Henry Williams' fight? Was about 40 seconds long, so you can't really analyze his performance. But what'd you think about Ryan Rieber and Slick Rick Caruso, man? That was a tough fight for Ryan until he dialed it in.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Ryan, with Ryan is he's the type of fighter to download data. As soon as he downloads that data, then he strategically hits those openings. And whenever he cracked him with that 1-2, man, like that was so loud, so sharp. And after that, like right before that, he was on the ropes and they were going at it. And I was like, yo, Ryan's turning it on now. Then the next round started, and then, he caught him with that 1-2. Man, I couldn't be more proud of him.
There was one point in that last round where he hit 3 1-2s in a row. It was like pop, 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 pop. And I was like, oh man. And he dropped him on the third 1-2. He dropped him. He got back up at 8, and then I think he finished him after that though. Or no, he got back up and made it out of the round, and then Dr. Don Moosey fucking shut it down.
Yep. But yeah, Ryan's very quick with his hands. Those straight punches, like, I mean, we spar all the time. Like, I feel him. He hits hard. But yeah, he's quick as hell. He's definitely a quick 135er.
Nah, man, it's super cool that he's doing well. Not that we've known him forever, but like I've said before, he's originally from New London, Connecticut, and me and Mike didn't know that. And when we went down to the Orlando event and they announced, from New London, Connecticut, by way of whatever, Florida, me and him like looked at each other like, what the fuck? That's right down the street from us. Like literally.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Like I know people that he trained with, and I had a dude that he used to box with work for me in the Army for 2 years in a row. It was
That's
like,
wild.
yeah. I was
like, what a coincidence.
Right. Yeah. And I actually ran into that dude recently. He was up here visiting his mom, and I know he had been living in Bangkok for like the last 5 years. He got out of the military. He's teaching over there. And I seen him, like, no bullshit, right around the corner from my house, like down the street here. He's walking down the street with his mom. And I like pull up next to him and I'm like, Macy. He goes, Mish? I'm like, what the fuck are you doing over here? He's like, my mom lives over here. So me and him had a conversation. And I told him that Ryan Rieber's fighting bare knuckle now. And he was like, what? You need to tell him to get a fight out there in Thailand. You guys get out there. I'll make sure you guys live like kings out there. I'll get you some fly ass hotel rooms, and you'll live like kings for a week out there. I'm like, oh boy, I let Rieber know too. I let him know.
Hey, yo, if David Feldman's watching, make that happen. Make that happen.
I told Rieber, I was like, how about this, dude? Mike and Mish will go with the Bang Gang, and we'll make a documentary called The Bang Gang Takes Bangkok. And then we'll document the whole goddamn thing, and then we'll erase anything that'll get us.
I will emit everything that it can incriminate anyone.
The movie will go from like 7 hours of footage to like 15 minutes.
It would literally be like the movie Hangover.
Yeah.
It really would be like, oh, I've only got 10 seconds of footage I can use.
Yep, that's it, guys.
The debauchery is too much.
We only have memories.
That's hilarious.
Nah, man, that's awesome. It's good to see you down there. Great performance against a tough dude. Is that what's next for you? A little time off and then right back in. That's what it is.
Yeah, I stay in the gym. I train and coach, all the boxers out at our gym. So it's just back to work, and so I'm going to stay ready, and then once, if Nate doesn't contact us first, we're gonna let them know that it's time. It's go time again. So
there it is, man. You hit up Nelson. You tell him I need to get back to work, buddy.
Absolutely. Yep.
These things. All right, man. Shout some people out, and then we'll let you go.
I just want to shout out my team: Ryan Rieber, Henry the Pitbull Williams. I'm super proud of these guys. Let's just keep up the momentum, and thanks to you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, man. You're welcome back anytime. All right. We'll catch up with you down the road, man. Be good.
All right. See you guys.
Take it easy.
All right. Take care.
Later.
Bye-bye.
All right. J.R. Ridge, another victorious winner. That's redundant, isn't it?
Yeah, victorious winner. That's good.
He's a victorious winner from fucking BKFC Fight Night, Tampa 2. Dude, flawless performance for him. Great job.
Oh, yeah, he did
Fought a tough kid, but like you go back and rewatch that fight. He didn't do anything wrong in that fight. It was awesome. We got to talk a little bit. Our next guest is not here yet, but let's dive back into that Ryanell Riley Enrique Corson fight, dude. Yeah. Ryanell, he started that fight off absolutely rocking Corson with a right hand that fucking dropped him. Oh my God. And like he looked like he was throwing every single punch with murderous intent.
Yeah.
And that guy Corson was taking them fucking thing. I was just like, I was really, really impressed by Enrique Corson. I was impressed by Ryanell, obviously, because for the first 2 rounds, he looked like an absolute world beater. But it must have been a shock for Ryanell to be landing such powerful shots on a guy like that and have him just keep fighting back. Like Ryanell's a monster.
Yeah, he's friggin' just ripped to shreds,
He's a friggin' monster. They call him the Rhino, for Christ's sakes, man.
Yeah, imagine. Yeah, well, you see that guy. You took the fight on 2 days of notice. I mean, obviously, Corson knows who he is, and what he's capable of, but a lot of people didn't. But I just imagine from his point of view, he's like, damn, I'm fighting this fucking dude. You must have saw his last fight when he looked it up. The guy's a machine. He's a goddamn unit. He's a fucking unit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he broke 2 orbital bones in his last fight.
Yeah.
With his hands,
Okay, well, I'll take this. Why not?
Yeah,
it's just a stroll in the park.
Just a stroll in the park, man. Unbelievable fight. Shout out to him. Shout out to Enrique Corson. We tried to get Corson on tonight. We thought he was going to come on, but there was a communication issue, I guess. But we got our next guest, our last guest of the evening. another victorious winner, Mike.
Yeah, victorious Victor.
A victorious Victor from BKFC Fight Night Tampa 2. He fought Slick Rick Caruso. That gave him a hell of a fight. They put on a show for us, and he came out on the winning end.
Goodest.
The best, goodest job ever. Here he is, Royal Ryan Rieber. What up, dog?
What's up, fellas?
We're just working on our English over here.
Yeah.
What we're doing.
It's good, man. My sucks too.
Learn as you go. You're the best, goodest night the other day. And
Sounds about right.
Welcome back to the show. I'm glad I'm here for this one. I told you that I'm going to be here the next time you come on the show because I felt like a douche that I didn't make it to your show, honestly.
Man, you know? Bro, you're good, man. You're good. Fuck, man. Just crawl down there and be like, I feel you, man, because for the first time I got kind of sick too, and I don't know if I got sick. I started feeling symptoms like the day of the fight, and I was like, nah, man. I'm all right. My throat was like real scratchy. My nose was a little stuffy. And yeah, the next day after, man, I was it got me.
You're talking about this? You're talking about this fight that just happened?
Yeah.
Really? So you feeling all right now? It was a couple days.
Yeah. I'm good now. Like I was congested, sneezing like a motherfucker. Was it COVID? Was it Delta? Was it a fucking monkeypox?
Was that Omicron?
Dog. You know what I'm saying? It could have been one of the 10 fucking variants. I gotta talk to Fauci, see what's popping.
Yeah, I got his number.
Is that fucking corona?
Hit him up, man, for me.
Bro, your opponent is in the comments right now. He gives you the fist bump. Shout out to Rick Caruso. I gotta say, and Sean Wheelock said it on the broadcast, and I actually said it before rewatching it and hearing Wheelock say it. I actually said the exact same words. I said that kid is the best. He's the best 0-3 fighter on the BKFC roster.
Dude, well, and what people don't understand, man, and I'm gonna say it for him, and he's definitely gonna agree. He fought one of my other boys, Abby. I've done a lot of work with Abby, been in Abby's corners of his fights. Like, that was one of the main reasons, too, why I hopped in to Bare Knuckle was, being around Abby, seeing what Abby was doing. He fought him, and I think he fought Abby on fucking, I want to say 5 or 7 day notice. And, I knew that, they're calling this dude up. And I mean, I'm obviously the way that Rick is, I'm sure he's a family man. He's working full time. So, he's not in fucking training mode. You know what I mean? He's working. So, fuck it. I mean, yeah, I got balls. I'll take that fight. Boom, takes the fight. Abby kind of pressed it from what I remember right away. And, had kind of gotten him out there kind of early, but he looked like he gassed, but he still gave him a fight. And then, the next one, fucking Jack, that ass clown fucking Lambert backed out, he didn't get his platform to fucking sing to his kids or whatever the fuck he wanted. So he backed out and, Rick once again fucking stepped up, fought him, and then he got fight of the night. So
I think that one was on shorter because Rick was in the comments just a second ago. He said that he fought Abby on 7 days notice. I think he fought Jack Claffey on like 4 or 5 days notice. I think it was less than 7 days.
Yeah, so, it might even been. So I mean, shit, for him to make the weight and then him to fight and then get fight of the night, that left a sense with me like, fuck, man, you know what I mean? Like, just because he's 0-2 doesn't mean there ain't gonna be a fucking dog that shows up at this fight, you know what I mean? And I was like, fuck, man. And, we inboxed back and forth like a month before the fight. And I was like, hey, bro, just know I didn't pick you. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't like, yo, I want to fight fucking Rick. Because I ain't going to lie. I hate fighting the taller guys in the division. He's definitely, out of him and fucking Reddick or whatever his last name is. I know he's like 6'2". I don't know how the fuck he's making 35. But, he's definitely the biggest dude in the fucking in the division. And I mean, them big dudes are fucking butchering faces, bro. You know what I mean? All you need to do is have fucking a 2-3 inch more of a jab than somebody else, and you're fucking dicing them up, man. And I don't give a fuck how tough you are. Everybody's like, I'm tough. Bro, if your fucking face is hanging off just because you're tough, the doctor's stopping that shit. And guess what we're going to get? Another TKO victory. You know what I mean? So, you know, me and Rick, we fought, and I listened to one of his podcasts, and I don't, some people are like, oh, I don't, you know, do any studying on my opponent. Well, you're a fool. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I want to know how you're eating, how you're living, what you're doing, where you're living, how much you're training. Hey, you know, if you're a heavy smoker, if you're a heavy drinker, if, you know, any and everything I could try to find out about you in a short amount of time, then I want to watch a couple of minutes of film on you just to see if you're an arm puncher, if you're a fucking, you know, hard puncher, if you're, you know, an evasive puncher, how do you box? Then from there, I'll kind of drum up a little game plan in my head. All right, if he does this, I'm going to do this. If he does this, I'm going to do this. And, you know, that's how I'll come up with a game plan in trying to beat a guy. And with him, I was kind of hoping 4 weeks wasn't going to be enough. I figured he fought, you know, celebrated even as crazy as this is going to say, a good loss, because, you know, he got fight of the night. So he even got a bonus for that shit. So in my opinion, that's a good loss. You know what I mean? You know, and it's still showing, you know, you got fucking massive amounts of heart to do that. So, I mean, for me to do what I did to Rick, and fucking hats off to him to fucking just, he reminded me of what's his name, Tyson Fury in the fucking Deontay Wilder fight, where you were like, oh, he's out of there, bro. He's like, just fucking lifts up and fucking walks back to the corner and is like, I'm ready. I'm like, dude, fuck, man. Like, I'm a hot fuck, man. And then I try to take him out again, and he got him down again. And I mean, when I seen him fight Abby, there was a couple of times where it looked like he was like, oh, fuck it. You know what I mean? And this one, he was like, nah, fuck it. And I mean, people don't know, man, like, I ran so much for this fight, like, and I feel like the Diaz brothers said something about that. Like, the more you run, the more it builds up, like, something to where, you know, it's hard to knock a bitch out. You know what I mean? And like, he caught me with some fucking shots, man. Like, the whole side of my fucking face was killing me. I couldn't eat for 2 days. My jaw wouldn't align right. I'm like, man, is my shit fucking broke? Did they miss something? You know what I mean? And then they tell you, like, you only got 5 days. So I'm like, yeah, fuck, man. I was like, nah, they would know if something was fucking seriously wrong. And then, you know, everything, I'm pretty good right now. I mean, that's not bad for fucking 4 rounds of you know, bare knuckle, man. I was a little swollen. My knuckles, man, I've been conditioning them on this fucking, I got this Wing Chun bag. And it's fucking, it's like a, let me see if you can see. I'll get you out there.
It's like a sandbag.
Yeah, let me see if I can get behind it. You guys probably can't really see that shit.
Yeah, it's a bit dark.
No, it's too dark.
It's
a little bit dark.
Well,
too dark over here. Man. Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about, man. A lot of people don't know what I'm talking about, but that shit, that fucking works.
Were you surprised at all by Caruso coming out? Because I think in most people's eyes, he took the first round and probably the second round too, because you were kind of just measuring it out the first couple rounds. Then you started throwing combos, 1-2s and whatnot, and picking your shots in the third. Man, then you started landing those 1-2s at will. It was
it was because my favorite punch is an overhand right. And I thought that's what I was going to hit him with. And I'm envisioning this fucking overhand right. And I'm envisioning me going to the body, and then coming over to the top. But in bare knuckle, it doesn't always fucking play out like that, man. So it's like, all right, what the fuck am I going to do next? And I can adjust myself pretty fucking quick, you know, without wasting too much time. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it took me a couple minutes to tune up, but I'm also, I like counter fighting too. And he wasn't giving me nothing to fucking counter off of. He wasn't pressing the action. He was respecting me enough to where I had to press him. And when I started pressing him, you know, he was kind of countering off of me. And I was like, fuck, man, that's not the fucking fight I want to fight, you know? And we kind of just, you know, it was a real good chess match, man. And I heard out of everybody, I heard fucking Dave in the crowd, and he was kind of pissed. He's like, come on, guys. Come on,
Feldman?
guys. And I'm like, and I heard that, and I'm like, fuck, man, I'm going to have to press that shit, you know, because he talks about it right before. I mean, if you want to talk about a group of badass motherfuckers, the ones that are actually out here really doing this shit, man, like, you got this owner sitting in the back right before y'all are about to go scrap, like, y'all better scrap, and I'm gonna pay you extra money for it. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it don't matter who you fighting, bro. You know that bitch is coming to fight. You know, like I heard you guys talking about earlier, the Rhinell fight. Like, what, bro? Fuck, that could be fight of the year candidate right there.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that shit was crazy. And I mean, people that know the insight on it, like, it's like, you know, so fuck, man. You know, hats off to Dave anyway, man. That's one of the main reasons why I'm fucking doing this shit, man, because, you know, he believed in me when he seen me at the tryouts at that moment more than I believed in my motherfucking self. And I was like, you know, and now I know why, because look where I'm at. You know what I mean? I never thought to be in this position. I mean, you look at these bantamweight rankings. I mean, they got Diaz, I think, is number 4, and he's 2-0. But mine are finishes, baby. You know what I'm saying? So that's got to put me, you know what I mean, somewhere looking nice. And I mean, you know, as of what's next, because I know that question's coming. I don't, you know, I'm not really too sure. I mean, there's a couple of fucking, you know, killers coming up in the 35ers, and there's, you know, already a bunch of killers that sit in there, man. So, you know, I'm paying very close attention and seeing what makes sense, I guess. You know, too, I'm very interested to see what happens. I think Diaz is fighting in Albuquerque next month.
You got yourself. You mentioned David Diaz. You got Travis Thompson, the veteran out there that's always down for a fight. But you also got Devin Gibson and Cito Navarro. There's Cito is actually a New England guy. I don't know if you knew that.
I did. From Hartford, me and Cito have chopped it up a couple times, man. He's a great dude too.
Yeah, so I mean, you definitely have there's definitely some talent out there. Definitely.
You know, and I mean, not for nothing, I paid very close attention to that fucking main event fight. And I mean, not for nothing, Jared, if that was the Jared that came out there and I fought for that belt, I would have been a fucking world champion too. I don't know what was going on with my man. He didn't seem like he could get it together mentally or something.
He seemed his team off for sure.
I was very shocked. And, you know, shout out to fucking Reggie, man, because, you know, coming up into this sport, he was somebody that I kind of came up with, you know what I mean? Like, I was watching him fight in, you know, work out during one of Abby's events, man, and it just was like, damn, that motherfucker right there looks like he'd whoop a bitch's ass, you know what I mean? And now I'm fighting on his undercards to who knows, you know, what the future brings, you know what I mean? If he's going to continue to hold that belt, I mean, you know, obviously Johnny Bedford, I don't know what the fuck he's doing, but, you know, he's the next big 135er. And I mean, the dudes that are going to give me the most fucking problems are going to be the bigger dudes. And I mean, if, you know, in my opinion, I stopped one of the fucking biggest dudes in the division, shit, you know what I mean?
I was thinking that watching your fight, I was like, man, these two do not look like 135ers. They don't. You guys absolutely. Can I ask you? You weighed in at 135. What do you step in the ring the next day? You back up to 150 or?
Fuck no, bro. Like, I barely even breached 140, and it's just because of how clean I eat and where I stay. And I don't see. I'm already tall and lengthy for the division, so I don't need to feel like I need to pack on fucking all this extra bullshit just to kill myself to try to get it off. So when I'm fighting, I'm at full fucking energy. I'm at full mental capacity. And I mean, that's where being able to take a punch a lot better. You know what I mean? And like I said, to get hit by him with, you know, strategic, sharp shit, you know, and not even fucking buckle or be phased by it. Cause I mean, there was a couple of straight body shots that he hit me with too, that I was like, fuck. And I just poker faced it. You know what I mean? He hit me and I was like, just try to play that shit off.
Do you take care of your own diet?
What's that?
Do you do your own diet, or do you hire somebody?
No, man. I do everything. Do everything on my own, man. I just, you know, I've been a lot of research, man. A lot of trial and error shit. You know, I take a lot of supplements. I take them, and when it supplements good ones, like I take Shilajit, the Alpha Brain. I take a lot of Genius Brain, the mushroom pills. I got a good connect to how do you call them, cordyceps, the
cordyceps,
the mushroom shit. Like this is all my
you
shit.
Know what?
Julian put me on with the animal pack, bro. This right here, that's the shit.
Do you know what cordyceps does to like ants and small insects? It infests their body, and it actually takes over their brain system and makes them go crazy, and they'll climb up to like a high point, and then they'll die there, and then the fungus grows out of their head and stuff like that. Look it up.
That's fucking wild, bro.
Yeah, swear to God. And
so imagine what it's doing to me.
Yeah. Well, there's a game out, right? I don't know.
DJ Tony says you're eating lots of pizza too.
Yeah, lots of pizza. Do you play any video games at all?
Yeah, man, I was just playing fucking Call of Duty.
There's that game called The Last of Us, and what it is.
Oh, that's one of my favorites. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then, that's what that is. That takes over the makes them zombies. Is the
damn?
cordyceps.
I never even knew that because that was like hands down one of my favorite games. Of course,
all the
all the zombie apocalyptic shit. You know.
Speaking of pizza, we went by Torta Pizza, Tournament to Pizza. And we have some video that'll be coming out soon. I'm going to get around to it probably this weekend and put it out. Street Nat Matt, DJ Tony, thank you so much for taking care of us when we went there. But, man, Kyle went on that damn Street Nat Matt system. That thing is absolutely insane.
It's for real,
You've
man.
Been on it.
It's legit. I mean, he had us. That's when I knew I was in fighting shape. Where I go on that thing and be able to do a fucking full session without getting off the motherfucker. And I mean, instead of doing 3, it was like sets of 7 to 10, you know what I mean? And he would try to break us, man, especially Julian being there, because this wasn't my first outing being able to train with Julian. I also trained with his ass for the Boswick fight. And, that's when he was on he was on a high level, man. And then he just pumped the brakes, man. So, fucking
I'll tell you. I'm going to tell you right now. So I would say that I'm in okay shape, but kind of dad bod shape right now, right? I'm 40 years old. I'm fucking broken in like every piece of my body, and I blame it on the army. But anyways, I go down there. We have a nice time at the pizza joint, and the pizza's phenomenal, by the way. I was so impressed by how good.
Shockingly
the pizza
delicious, right? That's what we had.
Shockingly delicious. Yeah, it was great.
Orange.
And then Matt says, "Hey, I'm gonna get you on the truck out there. Let's do a little thing on the truck." So Mike and I go out there. Mike sets up the camera, and he runs me through that shit after eating 3 slices of pizza in 90 degrees. I wanted to fucking die. Yeah. He says, look at DJ Tony. My man Mish was shaking in 30 seconds. I really was, man. I didn't realize what it was gonna be. But you know what? I did like 90% of it, and fucking I had to tap out with like 2 exercises to go. He had me doing like those leg kickback things.
When you got it and it's just sitting like this, and then it's like doing yoga, man. It's like holding yourself in a yoga pose, and then then positioning your body in a place where you just don't want to be. You're just like, fuck, man, and it's already hot out. You just go walk to your car and start sweating. So he had me dry heaving one day, getting on that from being out of shape, man. And I was on the side of the truck like, he's like, yeah, right. I'm like,
did he make you push? Did he make you push the truck?
No, thank God I didn't have to do that yet. I mean, fuck, this camp Julian had me doing enough, work, man. I was like,
dude. Speaking of Julian, he came out on the losing end of his MMA fight the other day, but that dude's a savage, man. Did you see the footage of him?
Yeah.
That shit was hilarious, man.
I wish you could pull that up.
Yeah, I don't have it. We don't have it right now, but that shit,
I might be able to. Give me a second.
Yeah, Mike. For anybody that wasn't,
I mean, it's just. Are you not entertained? When I look at this motherfucker and it's what it is with him, man. It's always something with that man, though.
He's very active, man. He stays active. The dude's always into something, and I'm sure he's coming off of an MMA fight this past weekend. He's probably asking to get back in the BKFC ring like as soon as possible because that's the kind of guy he is, right?
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, I was just talking to him 2 hours ago, and you know, he's going to see his girls and hang out with them, and you know, figure out what's next, man. I know his heart is MMA though. You know what I'm saying? He really wants to get into that top level shit. And I'm like, bro, you come down here and you motivate me so much. I said, but look, man, you gotta do the same shit for yourself, man. And once you keep going, you can't pump the brakes. And this shit, like, bro, I'll be right back in the gym on Monday like I never left. You know what I mean? Like, you can't pump the brakes, man. You can't, because if you do, you're gonna get fucking steamrolled over. And I mean, with him, he'll pump the brakes and then he'll get back into like a good training regimen, but it won't be good enough and it won't be long enough. You know what I mean? And then he'll the fight was close, man. And that dude was just freshly cut off the UFC. And, you know, I knew what kind of training he did because he was with me every single day, and it wasn't MMA or fucking, you know, the MMA training that you should be doing. I could tell you that. And I mean, to have his first fight back in fucking, I don't know, I think it was like 7 years or something, you know.
Wow.
Like I said, hats off to him, man. I mean, because the whole time, like, it was like 3 weeks out, and he's like, all right, I'm going to South Carolina. And then he's like, no, he said, I'm going to California. And then he was like, bro, Russia just hit me up. They want me to fight their number one guy out there in Russia, bro, for the fucking bare knuckle or whatever the fuck the promotion was called. I was like, for real? And then he's showing me the text, and I'm like, damn, bro, like, yeah, fuck it, do it. I was like, just go out to fucking Russia, dude, and fight the number one dude, bro. Fuck it. You know what I mean? How much are they going to give you? And he's, he's chopping up numbers and shit. And I'm like, yeah, bro, fuck it, do that. And he couldn't get his visa in time. Like, something was fucking going on with the visa, and he was just like, okay, I'm going to do the South Carolina one. I'm like, shit, I mean, it's like he figured this all out in like 3 weeks. And then the motherfucker
blew up his car.
30 pounds. He cut 30 fucking pounds in like 2 weeks.
Oh my
I never
God.
seen no shit like that, bro. I was like, damn, I can't wait to see this because I was with him. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to see him get as low as he can go. And he got every bit to like 170, 171.
Wow.
By the time he took off and went to South Carolina. So I was like, fuck, that's crazy.
Are you rocking a Whaling City boxing shirt?
Yeah.
Hey, look at that shit, man. That's what's up.
Shout out to my guys over there, man.
Yeah, that's awesome that you rep it down there. That's cool.
That was like that's where the hand game started for me, man. Really.
Yeah, like I was just telling J.R. Ridge that I ran into Macy around the corner from my house and told him that you were fighting and about the whole Bangkok Bang Gang takes Bangkok fucking idea. He was like, holy shit, that's like a fucking movie for sure.
Yeah, dude, that would be fucking, I mean, listen, the sky's the limit, man. And, you know, I've put myself in it took a lot of mental, a lot of physical, obviously, a lot of everything. And, you know, I now I can, you know, I'm seeing the real big picture now. And, you know, I just want to keep fucking grinding and, you know, putting just love out there, bro. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? And when you want to act up and you want to act stupid, you're going to get taken care of real quick. And, you know, fuck those people.
You're definitely in one of the most exciting divisions right now. I mean, if you want to tune in tomorrow night, we're going to be talking to Johnny Bedford tomorrow night.
Oh, hell yeah.
Johnny Bedford, he has agreed to come on tomorrow night. Nice. Nobody's heard from him in a long time, so they just
that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, so we're gonna. Have him on.
He, you know, after he seen what happened on Saturday, he's over there fucking drooling. You know what I mean? Because not for nothing, you know, he's beat Reggie twice. Now I think Reggie, you know, Reggie always brings it. You know, a third one could be different. You know what I mean? You know, I don't know what to say about that, but you know, the way that I know he's looking at it, because I heard him say it, like, you know, I beat you twice, you know what I'm saying? And look what you did to Kid Gotti. And I think he really was at one point in time a little bit like, oh, I don't want to fight this young, hungry ass fucking 135er, you know, because he wasn't coming out. He wasn't saying nothing. And, you know, I don't know what his deal was, you know what I mean? I can't speak for the man, but he wasn't around, you know what I mean? So,
yeah, man. I'm excited to talk to him for sure because who knows what they do now. I mean, but anyways, man, we don't want to keep you all night. It was a fucking awesome event this past Saturday, and you showed out big time with Slick Rick Caruso. I think I asked you earlier, but do you want to call somebody out by name? Do you want to let the bosses know who you got on your mind before we let you go?
They got me on their mind, and they know what's going to be right. And you know what? The universe, they're going to know what's right. And, whatever phone call Julian gets, and he's like, this is what's going to happen, and we're going to discuss it. And if that's what's supposed to be in the plans, that's what's going to be in the plans, my guys. And, that's how I'm going to do things, man.
Hell yeah.
I'm not putting no heat on me. I want that fucking belt. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, whatever's directed me to getting that chain, that belt, I can already see it. You know what I mean? Being put around me, but being put around my neck. However, whatever I got to do to get there. You know,
positive
what I mean?
visualization, man.
That's it, man. And a lot of things that I've thought about and I've done, and you got to question yourself. Is that the right way to think? Is it work? I mean, fuck, for now it's working.
The laws of attraction, all that good stuff.
Hell yeah, man. Everything, man. I mean, it is, it is like how they say it is, man. That's why, like, my gratitude and my integrity are, they're one of the highest things that you can possess as a earth being, man, is, just that is your energy, man. And that's one thing that can't be fucked with. And if you can stay true to yourself, and you stay true to the universe, man, and it will treat you right, And I tell people that's the difference in coming out of one of those bare knuckle fights. I mean, look at Alex Tierney. He was fucking gashed here and gashed here and gashed here and didn't even get the fucking win, which I don't know what was up with that fight, but because I know that dude personally.
That was a little silly.
That whole Tampa card, I knew all of those guys personally. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean,
well, that card, I mean, that fight that you're bringing up right there was one of the weirdest ref fights I've ever seen, because first of all, Alex was saying that he got headbutted and that's what cut him.
Right.
But if you go back and watch the fight, there was no headbutt.
There was no headbutt.
There was an uppercut that cut him.
It was.
And
it was like a weird fucking,
Right. And then later on, he landed a straight left on Derek Gates that put him down, and they called it an accidental headbutt.
It was absolutely atrocious, is what I say.
Atrocious.
It was a atrocious call.
No, but like, I don't know what they're looking at when they look at replays. I don't know when they're trying to decide on what the hell to make for a call. Are they even looking at these replays? Because if they were looking at those replays, they would see that it was a straight punch that fucking put him down, not a headbutt. Like, where was the headbutt?
Right. I think Andrew Glenn made the call. That's it.
Well, and then you go back and you rewatch, and if you really look, it almost looked like he like knuckled him in the eye, and like, he may have caught a half fist, half knuckle in the eye. You know what I mean? But still, at that point in time,
is that illegal?
That's not illegal. It's part of the
you know what I'm saying?
Right? Isn't that a punch?
Yeah. It's a knuckle to the eye is a part of a punch.
Definitely no headbutt at all, because he was in between his arm, and it was very obvious. So I felt bad for him, because he comes back into the locker room and talk about crazy energy, man. He's like, man, the motherfuckers, they glued my fucking eyes shut, and I had to peel it open, and he's got this gash and it's fucking hanging.
No.
He's got a fucking, I'm like, dude, you're fucking out of control, man. I'm like,
he was very hyped up after the fight, because when they went back to medicals, I don't know if you saw this, you might have been in the locker room at this point, but they brought Gates into medicals and Tierney was in right after him. And then he was like yelling like, yo, we're squashed. Let's squash the beef. He was like screaming, and everyone was trying to like, okay, dude, you're a little too hyped up. We understand you're trying to like squash the beef here, but right now is not the time. Just let it kind of die down. And he was like trying to push through like 7 people to get over. And he's like, oh, Derek, let's squash the beef. Do you remember that, Kyle? Like, he was screaming it, and he was like, and they were like, calm down, dude, like relax.
He's bleeding all over the place.
Yeah, and dude, he's wild. He's like that when he comes to the gym and comes to spar, man. He'd be leaking everywhere. You'd be like, yo,
he carried that energy right outside too, Ryan.
Yeah, I seen that shit, man. So, bro, that dude that hit HD, bro, he comes in and out of my gym sometimes, and I don't know who he's like the Phantom Kid. I'm like, who? I'm like, who the fuck hit him like that? I'm like, and why did he hit him like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck was like? That shit was like a movie, man. Like, I watched it like 15 fucking times, man.
That's crazy.
I was like, okay, so wait a second. Alex, okay, he's out here because he's crazy as fuck. He's talking shit to them, obviously, because they were pressing Steve-O earlier that day. They seen Steve-O, and they were pressing him, and I couldn't really hear exactly what they were saying, but you know, Steve-O calls everybody out in the division, so he was like, I think they were pressing him over that shit, like, oh, what's up now? What's up now? You know, which, you know, he's got to fight, man. You know, you got to at least respect the fight. But, you know, whatever, man, them dudes is on site. So, you know what I mean? That's how some people are, especially down here, down south. So he fucking, you know, that could have been in Steve-O's mind too. And, you know, afterwards, I know Alex Tierney and Steve-O, they're both from Tampa. So, you know, he came out there, they probably words were exchanged, and, you know, that's why they're yelling back and forth. But why old boy hit HD, to this day, it's a mystery.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
You know,
sure.
I'm like, I'm gonna figure it out next time I'm on the podcast. I'm gonna be like, hey, remember that situation?
Yeah, we won't forget.
Get the scoop.
You know? Yeah, just because, like, bro, were you drunk? Were you beefing? Did he say fuck you or something? Like, he hit him, and it was like, you just heard that.
Yeah, it was
shit,
loud.
and it didn't sound like it was solid. It just sounded like a hard clap. Yeah. I was like, and then HC just kind of wobbling, was like, what the fuck? And he's got one hand in the club. I would have just started clubbing him. Fuck it. If that thing was hard, oh yeah, that would have been a weapon right there.
Oh my God.
I mean, yeah, man, it's a fucking wild ass shit. It never fails, man. I mean, is it good for the sport? No, and yes at the same time. You know what I mean? Just because it's it is highly entertaining, bro. I'm just like, how? We all want to know, bro. Like, why'd you punch? Why did HD get punched? You know what I mean? That's the only question I have for that.
Well, then we have a follow-up interview with Ryan Rieber coming in a couple weeks. He's gonna give us the scoop on that shit, dude. Thank you for giving us so much. Yeah, giving us so much of your night tonight. We're gonna go ahead and call it a night right here because we've been on with you for 45 minutes. I don't know if you knew that.
Fuck no, bro.
Fucking gangster. Thank you very much for coming on, man. Unbelievable performance, like we talked about. 2-0 in the division. You're a major player in the division now. You're young. You're a great boxer, ultra skilled, and you finish people. So it is a recipe for some good things to come, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother Mike, you got anything?
Nah, man, thanks for coming on. I'm glad I was here this time, and we'll get you when you get the scoop.
Hey, brother. Hey, thank you, guys.
All right, man. Royal Ryan Rieber.
I'll be up there in Connecticut in like 2 weeks, man. I'll inbox you guys when I'm up there, though.
Oh, yeah. All right. Cool.
Cool.
So we'll get up, man.
Sounds good, man.
100%.
I'll talk to you soon.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Later.
All right, later.
Man, that kid's all energy. And I'm going to tell you right now, he is extremely skilled in the ring to match his energy outside the ring. So I love the crop of talent the BKFC is starting to put together here because there's a lot of personalities that can also fight. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I love it. Every single event, I just love it more and more and more. I'm all in, you know. I'm walking around. I mean, I usually have a smile on my face, but I feel like it's extra large nowadays. And people ask me, "What's up? How you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm doing fantastic." And you know why? Because I just love this so much. I love it.
It's amazing. And then the next event coming up is in London, right? Do I have the number right on that? Is it 26 or 27?
No, you're right.
It's 27. BKFC 27 in London. August 20th is the next one. I bring that up because our guests tomorrow night, we're going to start off the night with Charissa Sagala, who will be taking on Paige Van Zant in the co-main event of that incredible card, which is headlined by Platinum Mike Perry and MVP. Unfucking believable. Look at that thing. Ba-boom, son. Look at that. Unbelievable. unbelievable 3 fights right there. Not to mention Shoemaker and Mick Terrell. Not to mention Tyler Goodjohn and
school style there.
Yeah,
Tyler
dude.
Goodjohn. I got Goodjohn Lily here.
Unbelievable. You got Boswick and Fishgold and many more. So tomorrow night, make sure you guys are tuned in because we're going to talk to Segala and Johnny Bedford tomorrow night. We're going to talk to Segala about our upcoming fight, and we're going to get Johnny Bedford's get his
pick his brain, find out where he's been, where he's going.
We're gonna finally pick his brain on when we're gonna see him back, what's going on, what he thought about the other night. I mean, you know, he doesn't post a lot of stuff online.
Nope.
And did you see he actually posted something?
Yes.
He posted like a direct message to Jared Grant. Like,
yes.
you were the guy that was supposed to be.
I get it. We'll play it tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll play it tomorrow. Unbelievable, man. So, dude, shout out to the BKFC for once again putting on. It's a weird event, arena there at the fairground.
Yeah, they didn't like lights there.
I mean, it was a strange.
It was very
setup.
dark when we first got there in the front.
Yeah, but you know what, man? They don't fail to put on an amazing night of fights, and like there was some controversy with that first fight. It was weird. There was some controversy at the end of the night, guys. When I tell you that, like, you can hear a pin drop in that fucking arena, when that shit happened with Jared Grant, dead silence. Like, everybody was like, "What the fuck is that?" Like,
and everyone started speculating. Like, nobody.
It was like
he lose his eye.
Eerily
That's people
quiet.
think he lost his eye in the ring. Like, it popped out. Some people are like, his eye popped out of his skull. Like, people are saying crazy shit, and I was like, "What? How'd you see that?" Like, I don't even understand where you got that from.
Right, because it was such a weird
atmosphere.
It like
an event,
as soon as it happened, the feel over the entire arena was like,
you're like,
and then there was like a moment of silence.
Yeah,
and then like 5 minutes goes by, and like Reggie's still standing in the ring. Like, what's going on here? Like, did I win? What are we doing here?
Yeah, there was no like ref didn't fucking
and like us
like, wait, what?
And us in the arena, we don't hear the commentary.
No.
So Sean Wheelock on the broadcast is saying, I think he was saying that it's probably going to be stopped due to the illegal accidental eye poke, and which will go to the cards. Well, we know that that's the right answer, but we can't hear the commentary, so nobody in the arena knows that's what's going on.
Right.
It was just a weird, strange thing.
It was odd.
And congratulations to Reggie Barnett, OG in the game, finally got himself a strap. And overall, fantastic night of fights, a lot of great characters, and we couldn't be happier to get down there. So,
yes, sir. Well,
yeah, with that said, make sure you guys are following us on all platforms, and make sure you're telling all your friends to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're almost at that 1,000 mark. Finally.
Let's get there.
That's all we got for this evening. Thanks a lot to our guests for coming on. We will talk to you guys tomorrow night, 9 p.m. when we got Teresa Segala and Johnny Bedford. With that said, peace.